fact, the racist response is probably the only thing spreading faster than the virus at this point.
Where them kicks at? Where them hands? Where them holes? Where them throws? You know what I'm saying?
This is why I train in martial arts.
Okay, so we've heard the media criticize some folks for using the terms Kung flu and the Chinese virus when they're talking about COVID-19. Please, let's not do that, especially since there have been reports that people are being attacked because they're Chinese as targets of fear for COVID-19. So what I would like for people to do is to just stop saying it. If you're going to say it, just say it at home. Don't say that around anybody else. And do not use this as a chance to vent your hatred at minority groups. Now, I would say if you're in any particular hated minority group, you should sign up for a martial arts class. But we can't have those right now. So your next best alternative would be to, if there's an immediate family member that's a martial artist, get some training from him or her. Or you can come by YouTube channels where they show you how to do some martial arts moves. I have a few videos here. It's not all just me talking. It's me going through how to do some forms. But if I get enough requests, I will put videos up online where I show you how to do some basic moves. But your best form of self-defense in a situation like this is always going to be your brain, your smarts, your awareness, that type of thing.
This is the moment passers-by say a woman wearing a face mask was attacked in a New York subway station by a man claiming she was sick. It's now being investigated as a possible hate crime. In another post, a man verbally abuses an Asian woman collecting plastic bottles.
This is why you have a virus.
Community leaders say they've heard accounts of other similar incidents.
The fear is overtaking the actual facts on the ground. When I talk to business owners and entrepreneurs in Flushing, they are very concerned about the panic and the fear that is gripping not only the entire United States, but New York specifically. It's making people feel very emotionally vulnerable.
Cases of discrimination and even attacks have been reported all over the world. The United Nations says misinformation is partly to blame.
In this situation, sometimes it's easy to move into perspectives in which there tends to be discrimination, there tends to be violation of human rights, there tends to be stigma on innocent people just because of their ethnicity or whatever. I think it's very important to avoid these.
In New York's Chinatown, some businesses say they've lost as much as half of their regular trade over the last 2 weeks. Shop owner Christina Said says racial animosity here is nothing new. And although fears of COVID-19 have made things worse, she says she's confident business will bounce back.
My family has faced all types of things over the years. There's always going to be those crazy people. We were here when SARS happened. We were here when there was like Hurricane Sandy, 9/11. As a community, like there are good days, there are bad days, and we're just going to get through it.
Authorities here have condemned the recent racist attacks and say it's now more important than ever for people to show their support for the city's Asian community. Sarah Walton, CGTN, New York.
Now, I haven't heard of anything like that happening in Maryland. That doesn't mean it's not happening in Maryland. I just haven't heard about it. But this don't make any sense, y'all.
Hi, I'm Josh Rushing, and you're in the stream. Panic about the coronavirus outbreak is fueling a global rise in anti-Asian sentiment. But is COVID-19 really to blame for people's racism? Tell us what you think in our live YouTube chat or on Twitter.
I'll tell you right now, no, it's not to blame. It's an excuse for how they felt in the first place. So again, since gyms and things are shut down, and like the lady said in the previous part of this video, I mean, she's always had to deal with racism because of her ethnicity. I've had to deal with racism because of my ethnicity, and in more ways than one. Now that I finally got my ancestry DNA results back, and it sounds like a lot of the smack that people have talked towards me racially is actually true. But I may do a video on that later. So, yeah.
Wong, a professor of Asian American Studies at the University of Maryland and an expert on anti-Asian racism. Hey guys, thanks a lot for being. Eve is based in Beijing, but speaks to us today from Detroit, Michigan. Also with us is Bruce Y. Lee. Bruce is a medical doctor, a health policy professor at New York University, and a senior contributor for Forbes. And finally, we have Janelle Wong, a professor of Asian American Studies at the University of Maryland and an expert on anti-Asian racism. Hey guys, thanks a lot for being with us in the stream today. I appreciate it. Eva, can you catch us up? We talked about coronavirus last week on the stream, but and when we ended the show, we said, well, it looks like this might be the end of the Chinese chapter, and this is about to open up to the worldwide narrative. Can you tell us what's happened in the last week? Where are we today with it?
Yeah. Thanks for having all of us on the show.
Sure.
So I just arrived in Detroit a few hours earlier, flying from Beijing. And so with a lot of other journalists have been under sort of home quarantine for several weeks in Beijing. So the narrative and what the discussion is very different over there and outside of China. Within China, there isn't so much this issue of race because it's more just geographical, that people who are coming from the Hubei province are under very strict quarantine. And then outside of other places, it's looser. I think in other countries, it's a much more complicated and difficult issue because you do have...
I can't really see this on the bottom of the screen here, but I wanted to read this because this is something I know I'm guilty of myself. It says, "We are seeing how quickly the model minority myth disappears in cases like the coronavirus. Just another example of the ways white supremacy culture can lull you to thinking you are safe if you adopt a bootstrap mentality."
And so it's just a very different than how in Western countries like the U.S. we think about
bootstraps mentality or
think about
if you adopt a bootstraps mentality or aren't black. See, on the whole bootstraps thing, I'm like, I still believe in bootstraps, hard work, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Because I feel like if you don't do that, then you're really not going to get anything. But that still doesn't mean that you're safe. And the fact that you aren't safe, this is not me saying all, but there are just people that feel that way. That's a fact of life. And the fact that you aren't going to be safe is why you should practice some martial arts. So, thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to put links to these two videos that I've referenced below here. And I'm going to do some more digging and see if there's any more instances with people getting out of hand with this coronavirus racism. It's got to stop, y'all. It's got to stop. Oop, I'm getting a phone call. And peace. And thank you for your time.
Where the kicks at?